Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and I'm going to do another Arsenal transfer talk. Today it is Friday the 26th, although by the time this video comes out it will be Saturday the 27th, so with that. It is day 3 and the Eden Hazard rumours are really starting to heat up. Now there's apparently, according to a lot of sources, some newspapers from different countries, France mainly, but also a lot of rumours spreading around Twitter. Twitter isn't exactly a reliable source, but a lot of interest on that. Apparently some very advanced talks between Arsenal and Lille are happening, and some progress is being made on that. There was also another thing on Twitter about Eden Hazard, although it's not true, is that Eden Hazard was spotted in London talking to Arsenal representatives. That is not true. He wasn't in London today, and it's still being talked out by agents, and they're still trying to agree a fee. So Eden Hazard could possibly still go to Arsenal, although since we have qualified for Champions League group stage, the interest has got a lot more intense, so the possibility is high, although we're not sure yet. Moving on, Arsene Wenger has himself stated on the Arsenal website that he does want to sign at least 3 players, or three players in total, one being a defender, most likely a centre-back, one a midfielder. This could mean a winger. Maybe he wants to promote Arshvin to the centre attacking midfield, though I doubt it. This could mean that he wants a defensive midfielder for cover for Song and Frimpong if Frimpong decides to choose Ghana over England and then goes off to the African Cup of Nations along with Song, which would leave us without any sort of defensive midfield and would be pretty vulnerable there. So unless he wants to bring in some sort of defensive midfielder like M. Dilla, who plays for Rennes, but I doubt it. So it could possibly mean he is interested in Eden Hazard, as all the tabloids are suggesting, and Twitter, for example. Or it could mean, Eden Hazard is a winger but can be played as central attacking midfield, but we're not sure. So midfielder can cover a lot of things really. So basically he wants to bring in a defender, most likely a centre-back, so Phil Jagielka maybe not so much. Gary Cahill is a very large target of ours, and a striker as well, which is quite an important one, as Chamakh will also be going to the African Cup of Nations with Morocco. So that would leave us without any cover for striker, as Nicholas Bentner will be maybe leaving the club if anyone actually wants him. He is for sale. Arsene Wenger has stated several times, as Nicholas Bentner himself, although no one seems to be interested in him. There was some interest apparently from a few clubs in Germany. Atletico Madrid were also reportedly interested, and Sporting Lisbon, but sadly the interest did not come through, and his salary at Arsenal seems to be a major stumbling point. So unless we've managed to sell him for the end of the window, which is unlikely, although Nicholas Bentner does have an injury, although it is small term and does not hinder his chances of a transfer to a different club, it does mean that he is unavailable for selection. So, and also Arsene Wenger would feel a bit apprehensive about actually selecting him. Anyway, so Chamakh is going to the African Cup of Nations, and we only have Robin van Persie. Joel Campbell does not have a work permit, as far as we know, and because we already got one special work permit for Ryo Miyake on account of him being a special talent, I do believe that as we've already had him on a work permit, Joel Campbell will not get a work permit, but we'll wait to hear on either Monday or later on. So in the meantime, Arsene Wenger would like to bring in a striker. That could be Mario Zarate. There's been a lot of reported interest around him. He wants to leave Lazio. He doesn't want to stay. He's got a little bit of an attitude problem apparently, and he has fallen out with manager, chairman, etc. So he wants to leave Lazio, and he could be available for around 12 million, around that. So as Arsene Wenger is looking for a striker as not necessarily cover for Chamakh, maybe to replace him, not a replacement, but as competition for him. Maybe want to play him up for front alongside Van Persie, but he does like to play the unique formation with one striker up front, two wingers, one centre attacking midfield, and two defensive midfielders. So another striker would most likely be as competition for Chamakh, and in case Robin Van Persie gets injured, which is unfortunately more than likely. So moving on to Gary Cahill, there's been a lot happening today about Gary Cahill. So I'll start from the very beginning. Bolton Wanderers came out and said that they have rejected an offer from a club for 6 million for Gary Cahill. Owen Coyle then came out and said that the offer was from Arsenal and that it is nowhere near the estimation which Bolton have for him, as you know, he does have a release clause of 17 million. A 6 million would be very out of our, well, Bolton wouldn't really accept that. Then the Bolton chairman, Phil Dart's side, on Twitter, some Bolton fan got a bit angry with this reported bid, or this confirmed bid for Gary Cahill of 6 million, and said that Arsenal can fuck right off. Sorry for the language. And Phil Gart's side rather did retweet this, so his sentiments to the deal are quite clear there. So obviously Arsenal's interest in Cahill is now confirmed completely. We have put in a bid for him, although it was incredibly low at 6 million. Arsene Wenger did later come out and say that this 6 million bid is a lie. We did put in a bid, but it was nowhere near that lower price. So it might be 10 million, including extras and additions to appearances and such. But cash up front would be 6 million, and obviously Bolton would not like the sound of that. But at the moment, I would take it as Arsene Wenger sees his release contract clause 17 million. He sees that as way too much for a player on the last year of his contract, and as he doesn't want to appear so desperate, he wouldn't want to jump in straight away with, you know, a 17 million release clause, or jump in with about 2 million under that. He wants to start off very low and appear like, well, there's always other targets out there. Gary Cahill was not our only interested defender. However, Arsene Wenger has reportedly said to the Daily Mirror or the Daily Mail that, well, Bolton can keep Gary Cahill. They're not that interested in if they're going to stick to their price of 17 million release clause, and that they can just wait until next season when he'll join for nothing. And Bolton would not really like that. So they would prefer to make some money so that Owen Coyle can invest in the squad instead of getting nothing for the player next season and him leaving for a free transfer. So basically a lot of movement on the Gary Cahill front, although we're not sure if Arsene Wenger will go back in for it. But as I say, I think Arsene Wenger put in a rather low offer of around 6 million, rising up to 10 million, just to test Bolton and just to say, well, we're not that desperate as all the media and tabloids make out that we are, and that if we do want him, we'll get him for our price, and the price that we're willing to pay, not 17 million, which is a completely overrated price. Moreover is the Kaka rumours. Everyone's getting very excited about Kaka, you know, either moving on loan, but as I said yesterday, that the loan bid was rejected, reportedly, and the only way we'll be able to get him is to bring him on a permanent transfer for 17 million. But reportedly the Kaka rumours gone a bit quiet today. There's nothing really going on with that. We've not heard anything really on that. Although Paris Saint-Germain, or PSG for short, are reportedly interested in Kaka, as they could easily afford his transfer fee and his quite large salary of 175,000. And also Newcastle are in talks, or possibly in talks, with Ali Sissoko from Lyon, the left back. As Newcastle have sold Jose Enrique to Liverpool, they are in need of a left back, and Ali Sissoko could be available for as little as 7 million. Now, as Arsenal have also sold Clichy for exactly the same price as 7 million, and I would see that Ali Sissoko would be a perfect replacement for Gael Clichy, as also Armand Traore has never exactly filled me with confidence, and Kieran Gibbs is quite injury prone. Also, there has been a little bit of rumour that Armand Traore would be loaned out to QPR, although I don't think Arsene Wenger would do this without any sort of replacement lined up, as that would leave us without any left back and having to push Thomas Vermaelen into left back, which, although he did play there at Ajax and he can play at left back, I would really not want to take apart that centre back partnership of Koscielny and Vermaelen, as it's a really strong partnership. Although they've not played together so often, when they have looked incredibly solid. So that's pretty much all the rumours so far on Friday 26th. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.